Hi everyone, Professor Moreno here. Like I promised, here is another video. So before we begin on some of the topics that I wanted to discuss in this video, I just want to reiterate with your introductions, it should be a video introduction. I just wanted to make sure that I did not in any way send a different message. We are encouraging all students and asking them all to do a video so that we can, like I've talked about before, get a better sense of community, being a part of something. And although we might be all in different places, it's a really great way to get to put a face to the name, hear a little bit more about your placement, maybe hear a little bit more about your journey into social work. Whatever it is that you would like to share, it should be a video post. So for those of you that have just done a written post, I've replied, thank you for sharing, of course, but I've just reminded you that we need a video post done. So please try to do that as soon as possible. I know that there's some discrepancies as well with Blackboard and due dates. So here's the issue. Some pieces of Blackboard we were able to edit and some we were not. So that's why when you specifically go into the session section and you click on the learning activity, within the context of the learning activity, it's still saying different dates for when posts are due and then peer posts. So I think what we just need to, to back up, peer response. So post and then peer response. What we need to just remember is that everywhere else though, including in the videos that I've done, or the video that I did on the syllabus, it's very clear on there that the initial post is due on Wednesday and the peer response is due the following Wednesday. So for example, I wrote this down to try to avoid any further confusion, just to give an example. And of course, it's nowhere to be found now. But your ethics post should have been done yesterday. So that was, let's see, 8/28, right? That would have been when it was due by midnight or 11:59 p.m. So that should have already been done. And then your peer response is due by the following Wednesday. So in order to keep everything running smoothly and for me to be able to give feedback, it's going to be really imperative that we all are participating and participating at the same time. And I will be checking that. I will be making sure that posts are being posted when they're supposed to be, and I will be checking to be sure that we're getting peer responses done, because that's really important too. So please, if you have any questions on that, remember what I said, that my video refers to the syllabus and what is on the syllabus as far as due dates. And the syllabus has it as well, and now I'm reiterating here. So the initial post is due by Wednesday, and peer response is due the following Wednesday. If you still have any questions or concerns, please email me directly. And the only time that that's different, which is also reflected on the syllabus, is sessions 7 and 8, which that would then mean that for those sessions, it's the initial discussion post is due on a Tuesday, and the peer response is due on Friday. So that's for sessions 7 and 8. So just to further clarify, I am going to be posting a couple of documents that one is just for reference, and another will need to be filled out and returned to me. So the first that's just going to be for reference is field seminar hot points. And I'd like you guys to take a really good look at that. We've sort of worked together to come up with a plan regarding what are some of the issues that come up at placement, and some of the questions and some of the concerns. So the top part, the attendance policy, is a really important piece of it and something that you should take a look at. Take a look at the whole thing, of course, but the travel time to and from your residence to agency does not count. So that means driving time to and from your placement is not counted on your timesheet. So we just want to clarify that. Snow days, sick days, personal days, holidays, religious holidays do not count. You can take the holiday, but if you're not at your internship, the hours do not count. And in addition to that, just understanding that if you're not in placement and there hasn't been another plan put in place for you to do some remote work or research, which is a plan that you would put in place with your field supervisor. If that hasn't been done, then you're not putting any hours on your timesheet unless it's hours that you've actually worked on site. So if you need any clarification on that, please let me know, but you will have the field seminar hot points to reference for all of that. Then there is going to be another document that is basically, looks like this, and says Master's Social Work Program on the top, and it wants the student's name, academic advisor, obviously you guys are generalist year, so you would just circle generalist year, agency name, agency address, internship hours, field supervisor information. And for those of you that don't have a field supervisor, you would have a task supervisor and then an off-site supervisor. So if that's your situation, you're not only going to write down your task supervisor's info, you're also going to give me your off-site supervisor's info. And the reason why we're doing that is sometimes things change. Who was going to supervise you might change, who was going to do task supervision might change, and so to try to make everything as cohesive as possible and to be sure that we have all the information necessary before we start doing our site visits, we want to get these forms back in from students as soon as possible. So both the field seminar hot points and the form for your internship will be placed on the announcement board with this video, and I will ask that you get that back to me as soon as possible, okay? But more importantly, please don't forget your video intros, and please do not forget the posting. So initial post due on Wednesday and peer response due by the following Wednesday. I'm sorry, I know I keep on repeating myself, but I just want to make sure that everybody ends up getting credit for their work. And the only way that we can make sure that that's done is if the work is done. So that's why I just want to keep on putting out there. If you have any questions, if you're having any issues with managing any of that, please communicate with me by sending me an email. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.